Streets of Blood by Rico Cortezmar. Introduction. Neon streets, crimson edge. New York City looms, a neon-lit colossus, its skyline a jagged crown of steel and glass, its streets a pulsing vein of life. Vibrant, treacherous, a beast with 1,000 faces. Beneath the flicker of holosigns and the hum of skyscraper drones, shadows breed chaos, a sprawling underbelly where gangs claw for power, their names etched in blood across the concrete jungle. From Harlem's grit to Midtown's gleam, the city's a battlefield, territories marked by gunfire and greed, a web of crime woven tight over decades. Hunter Black walks these streets, a man forged in their fire, a former shadow turned blade of reckoning. Once a name whispered in fear, he shed that skin. Now a cop, relentless and scarred, his cyber eye glowing red with purpose, his Glock a promise of ruin. He's no hero, haunted by a past he can't outrun, but a force, cutting through the cities wrought with a fury that's both justice and vengeance. Beside him stands Kam Jordan, loyalty in steel, a cyber-armed warrior with a grin that cuts deeper than her blade, her dark eyes glinting with defiance. Together, they're the 16th precinct's sharpest edge, a duo born to break the unbreakable. The city's underworld stirs, gangs like venomous threads, their bosses dark lords of a neon hell, ruthless, cunning, their power a chokehold on New York's soul. A new shadow rises, a puppet master with ambition cold as ice, pulling strings to bend the chaos to his will. The streets tremble, danger hums in the air, Hunter and Kam feel it, a storm brewing beneath the surface, a war waiting to ignite. Chapter 1. Neon Crucible. Hunter Black perched like a vulture on the ledge of his busted-out office window, the jagged skyline of New York slashing the night with electric venom. Neon claws, red, blue, and acid green, raked across his scarred face, illuminating the cybernetic eye glowing crimson in its socket. The Big Apple was a feral beast, a sprawl of contradictions wired tight with contradiction, a glittering meat grinder, a seductive slaughterhouse. Just like him, half man, half weapon, all fury. His comms unit screamed to life, a jagged buzz shredding his brooding haze. He ripped the device from his belt, expecting another NYPD dispatch barking orders he'd ignore. Instead, a voice clawed through the static. Kam Jordan, her words dripping with razor-wire tension. "Hunter, you gotta see this shit. Now." Her voice crackled like a live wire sparking on asphalt, barely audible over the city's pulse. Hunter's jaw locked, titanium plates grinding beneath his flesh. Kam was his anchor in this neon-soaked hellscape, the only soul he'd bleed for. They'd clawed through infernos together, literal and figurative, dodging bullets and betrayal. When Kam said, "now," it wasn't a suggestion, it was a detonation countdown. "En route," he growled, severing the line with a flick of his thumb. He snatched his trenchcoat, black leather shredded with bullet holes and patched with Kevlar webbing, and slammed his custom Glock 77 into its holster, a matte black beast tricked out with incendiary rounds. The door exploded outward as he stormed into the night, boots cracking the pavement like thunder. The air hit him like a chainsaw, cold and vicious, slicing through the haze of Manhattan's underbelly. This city was his veins, his circuitry, every piss-soaked alley, every flickering holosign, every shadow where predators prowled. Hunter owned these streets, a hunter in a concrete jungle wired with traps. He zeroed in on Kam's signal, a sleek, matte black Mercedes AMG, idling like a panther at the curb, exhaust spitting blue flame. She leaned out the window, her cyber-enhanced arm glinting under the streetlights, dark eyes burning with something primal. "Get your ass in," she snapped, voice tight as a garrote. Hunter slid into the passenger seat, the door slamming shut as Kam floored it. Tires shrieked, clawing at the asphalt, the car a bullet tearing through the city's pulsing arteries. She wove through traffic like a demon, horns blaring, drones buzzing overhead, her fingers drumming a war beat on the wheel, synth leather gloves creaking. "What's the play, Kam?" Hunter's voice was gravel and steel, fighting to stay level over the roar of the engine. Her lips twisted into a snarl, eyes darting to the rearview as if the shadows themselves were tailing them. "It's fucking apocalyptic, Hunter. Worse than bad, it's a goddamn bloodstorm." His gut twisted, a cold coil of razor wire. Kam didn't flinch at chaos, she thrived in it. If she was rattled, this wasn't just trouble, it was a massacre waiting to ignite. She screeched to a stop outside a derelict warehouse in Brooklyn's dead zone, a forgotten sprawl where the grid flickered and died. The air reeked of rust and despair, thick with the promise of violence. Shattered glass crunched under Hunter's boots like brittle bones as they approached, the building looming like a tomb wired with ghosts. A busted hollow sign flickered overhead, Eden Exports, a lie in a place where hope came to bleed out. Inside, the scene was a gut punch of carnage. Blood sprayed the concrete in arterial arcs, pooling around a corpse splayed out like a broken puppet. The guy, mid-40s maybe, had been pulped, his face a crimson smear, jaw unhinged, teeth scattered like dice in the gore. Hunter crouched, cyber eye whirring as it scanned the mess, locking onto a tattoo carved into the guy's mangled forearm, a black rose, thorns dripping ink and menace. The black roses. Street royalty, dealers, killers, cyber-augmented psychos who'd gut you for a cred chip. Kam shoved a stack of hollow photos into his hands, her breath jagged. Found these pinned to the wall like a trophy rack. Hunter flipped through them, each image a blast of brutality. Bodies torn apart, throats slit, skulls caved in, rival gangers, street rats, even civilians unlucky enough to breathe the same air. Every corpse bore the Black Rose brand, a calling card of annihilation. "It's a war, Hunter," Kam spat, her voice trembling, not with fear but rage. "These bastards are torching the city, block by block. It's not just turf, it's extermination." Hunter's fists clenched, the leather of his gloves creaking like a guillotine's hinge. He could feel it, the pulse of chaos throbbing through New York's veins, ready to erupt. If this war spiraled, the streets would drown in blood, innocents caught in the meat grinder. He'd seen it before, in the chrome riots of 22, corpses stacked like cordwood, the skyline choking on smoke. Not again. Not on his watch. "We dig up the root," he said, voice low and lethal, a promise carved in steel. "Find who's pulling the strings and cut their fucking throat." Kam's eyes locked onto his, a mirror of his own fire. She nodded, sharp and final, her cyberarm whirring as it primed a concealed blade. They were a unit, hunter and enforcer, two blades in a city of rust and ruin. As they stalked back to the car, the shadows thickened, coiling around them like a noose. The air buzzed with static, drones circling like vultures overhead. Hunter's cyber eye flared, picking up heat signatures in the dark. Movement, hostile, closing fast. He grinned, a feral slash of teeth. Whatever was coming, it was big, it was bad, and it was about to learn the hard way. In this neon crucible, Hunter Black didn't just survive, he thrived.